Eno Prabhu Kota Gela Chaya Taku. Kaha Mora Swarupa Kaha Sanata Kaha Mora Kaha Dasaradu Nata Patita Pava Kaha Kahamora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kavira Kaha Ora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kavira Ekakale Kotangela Gurana Tara Akale Pasane Kutivo Matam Anale Pashibo Goranga Gunera Didi Kodagele Pavo Ranga Sirsavan Sangita Sangen Ye Kolom Vila Sirsavan Sangita Sangen Ye Kolom Vila Sesangana Paya Kande Naru Tamuda Sesangana Jayu Vaishnav Thakur Jayu Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jayu Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jayu Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jayu Jai Ishvara Puri Thakur Jayu Ishvara Puri Thakur Ishvara Puri Thakur Jayu Ishvara Puri Thakur Jayu Ishvara Puri Thakur Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya, Gurudev, 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 Jai. Shri Radha Madhav ki jai. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Gonitai ki jai. Shri Panchatattva ki jai. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev ki jai. Asta Sakhi Vrinda ki jai. Shira Ishvara Puri ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shira Prabhupada ki jai. Shira Gurudev ki jai. Sadhu Sangha ki jai. Gopananande. Swagatam Suswagatam. So, do you have the Krishna Lila Stava under your eyes? Otherwise, I can share it on my screen. You have it? I can share.
Check it on my email.
Otherwise, I can share it on my screen. It's not a problem.
I cannot see your screen. I'm on WhatsApp.
Oh, you're on WhatsApp. True. Yeah, actually, Moshika Prabhu is here. Hare Krishna, Moshika Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Do you have the Krishna Lila Stava under your eyes, or you need it?
No, Prabhu, no.
You have it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have it now.
Okay, so let me share at least because Moshika Prabhu is on Zoom. See what we're doing, Prabhu, because I didn't bring my speakers from France. I'm putting, as you have noticed, I called on the BV group, and I'm recording on Zoom. So this way, it's fine because since mic is very close to my mouth, it's recording, and there's no echo, nothing, and I can hear. I can hear her very clearly, and you are a little feeble, but. So let me share the screen.
Do you want me to join through WhatsApp? Or?
I mean, if you do that, your voice will be louder, that's for sure.
Oh, okay.
I noticed it's, I didn't bring my speakers. In France, I have huge speakers, so I can hear your voice very powerfully, but I didn't bring them, they are huge.
So I'll leave Zoom then?
Yeah, you can, if you want, you can join on WhatsApp, it's up to you.
Okay.
Your voice is a bit feeble from here. Sarva Shastrabdi Piyusha Sava Vedika Satphala Sava Siddhant Ratnadya Sarvalokya Kidrik Padam. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all Vedic scriptures, O most prominent transcendental fruit of all the Vedas, O you are enriched with the jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusions, or you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world. Okay, someone can carry on the second shlok.
Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kali Dvandro Ditya Shri Krishna Parivartita. O life breath of the Vaishnava devotees, O Lord, you're the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of the Kali Yuga. You are actually Lord Krishna who was returned among us.
Can you see? Go ahead.
Prema-varshi aksharayate sarvada sarvasevyaya Shri Krishnaya namastume. O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer respectful obeisances unto you by reading you one attains transcendental bliss, for your syllables rain pure love of God upon the reader. You're always to be served by everyone, for you are an incarnation of Lord Krishna.
Madek Bando, Mad Sangin, Mad Guru, Mad Mahadan, Mam Nishtarakam Bhagya Madananda Namostute. O Shrimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisances unto you.
Asadu sadhu sadayin atini chochataraka hanamuncha kadachinman prem narit kankayusvara. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of the very fallen, please do not ever leave me. Please become manifest upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna.
Jai Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. So now if I share, because I wanted to do a recap, what if you try to go on Zoom? Would it work for all of you, for two of you?
I think we all have this Bhagavad Subodhini.
Oh, you all have? Okay, great. Okay.
Shikhar, I guess he has also.
Okay.
No, it's not with me.
Sorry.
You didn't bring it from my room, or Shikhar?
From where? My uncle?
From my room in Vancouver.
Oh, I have to check. Not you.
Okay. So at least Moshika Prabhu, you can get back on Zoom then. Because so you can you can what you do, you mute yourself on Zoom and you can at least see the screen. See? Okay, so let me share my stuff. Okay, so I want to recap a little bit because it's been a while we haven't met. I'm sorry about that. I settled in Mayapur, many things were going on. So now I'm back on track. I sent the questions very late, like this morning, very early. I got up at 2 today. So, but at least we've got some support to work from. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimiram Dasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupam Kadama Yam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Samjivam Advaitam Sabhadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamsane Gurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Nishavanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Can you see my screen, Moshika Prabhu? Can you see my screen? Moshika Prabhu? Looks like it's
I
gone.
can see, Prabhu. I can see. I
Can you
can see.
see?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So basically, I wanted to, have overall recap. So we are in this middle portion of the second canto. As you remember, the first three chapters mostly dealt with the superiority of Bhakti Yoga. Because the key question of Maharaj Parikshit at the very, very end of first canto was, what is my duty? I'm about to die. In general, and in particular for someone who's about to die. And then, of course, repeatedly, Devas hammered the point home, 215, 2111, Itan Nivija Mananam Ichatam Makuto Bayam Yuginam Nitam Hare Namanu Kirtanam. Whichever your case, whether you are Yoginam, you are already a yogi, you're self-realized, whether you are Nirvijamananam, you are Akam, like the gopis, totally free from material desires. Even if you want to become a Kutobayam, free from doubts, free from fear. And even if you are Ichatam means Savakam, doesn't matter. You, Hare Namanu Kirtanam, you have to chant Hare Krishna in the footsteps of the great devotees. So that was the essence, basically, of the first three chapters. Of course, we discussed about different paths, like alternatives. We discussed about the Dharanashraya, the immediate path to liberation for those who meditate on the Paramatma in the heart. That's an immediate path. And then more slowly, we find the gradual path, the Kramya Muktas. Remember, they're not karmis, of course, they're quite advanced, but they still want to hover in this material world and visit places. Ultimately, they end up being in Brahma-Lok. And then from chapter 3, the focus was really on Bhakti Yoga. And now from chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, it's going to be Srishti, Srishti, Stiti, Pralaya. Srishti Tattva, meaning creation. First creation, Sarga, primary creation, and Visarga, secondary creation. So in chapter 4, we are about to finish chapter 4 today. What do we find? Of course, it's a little old, I know. But do you have any recollection of chapter 4?
Chapter 4, you mean from the beginning, right?
Well, very briefly, because it's been a while. It's been 2-3 weeks we haven't met, so.
Yeah, so we see, there is conversation happening between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukdev Goswami that Sutta Goswami is describing.
Yes.
And we see how Parikshit Maharaj renounces everything, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and
Yes.
ultimately is fixed up in Krishna consciousness. And then Parikshit Maharaj will have some questions about the Lord, how he creates the universe, and about also, various things about his creation, his Maya Shakti, and how about the demigods and the Prajapati's responsibilities. And we also learn about how Sukdev Goswami, the mood of Sukdev Goswami, knowing that Parikshit Maharaj is no ordinary jiva,
Yes.
and he's as powerful as Sukdev Goswami. So Sukdev Goswami's consciousness is he's praying to the Lord to be able to give the answers to Parikshit Maharaj's question
Yes.
in a very Krishna conscious way.
Yes.
And also the procedure how Sukdev Goswami will I mean before answering how he will offer the obeisance to the Lord, and yeah, and then really start answering the questions about
This.
the questions that Parikshit Maharaj asked.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm a little bit there.
No, it's fine. You did a very good job. So are you on top of things, Moshe Prabhu? Because sometimes you were absent. Is it clear for you, or you are totally lost? Are you still with us, Moshe Prabhu? Looks like it's gone. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's rephrase perhaps quickly the chapter 4.
Can
So
you hear me? Hare Krishna.
yeah, are you clear on what she said, or do you need some refreshment?
No, it's clear.
Uh,
I understood that Parikshit Maharaj, he completely surrendered to Krishna.
Yeah. See, Sutta Goswami being prompted by Shonaka, as usual, Shonaka is always prompting Sutta to go further. We have turned the page. It's a different scene. Between chapters 3 and 4, there's a change of scene, just like on a drama stage. And by hearing so much about Bhakti Yoga, Parikshit Maharaj definitely, he was detached from birth, but now becomes more detached by far, because he knows death is looming on the horizon. And starting from verse 5 onwards, he's going to ask questions. How does the Lord create? How he engages his energies? How he expands himself, you know? And he is in a very much inquisitive, and we can well imagine the loftiness of his questions. Is himself Vishnudat. Right? He has seen the Lord. The Lord himself came to protect him in the womb. So he's extremely Krishna conscious. Vasudev Parayanaha. And Shukadev, verse from 12 onwards, up to the end, basically, of the chapter, is taking shelter like anything in Krishna. And is propitiating Krishna, offering obeisances. May you be pleased with me. What you do, Moshe Prabhu, when you don't speak, you mute yourself. So we don't hear the background noise, you know? Yeah, because well, it's all over the world, you know? When you guys speak, you unmute. So we are in the process of those questions, of those prayers. We are pretty much at the end. We are pretty much at the end of the chapter. So we have discussed so many things. Is going to remembering Krishna in all in different types of profiles. Is master of the creation of the senses. Is Paramatma Antaryami. Is totally achintya. Krishna, as we know, is the end all of everything, beginning, middle, and end. How he associates with the yadus, the non-devotees. And of course, again and again, we are being told 15 again, yad kirtanam, yad smaranam, yad ikshanam. That's the purpose of life, and you just remember him, worship him, glorify him, offer prayers. That Srimata Svakata Krishna, or even better, Navanga Bhakti, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So he's taking shelter because he's about to talk about a very lofty topic. And even though he's a Mahajan himself, son of Jasadev, he's definitely, honestly taking shelter because to have such a caliber of a Parikshit Maharaj type of disciple, you have to be quite on top of things. Then we discuss 18, very famous verse, Kirati Nandra, Urinda, even lowly races like me, for instance. Even if we are lowly, but Shudyantitasne Prabhavishnave Namaha, if we take shelter of devotees who have taken shelter of Krishna, we can still be redeemed. So he's definitely seeking, pleading for empowerment. Krishna Shakti Vinanayeta Pravartan. Unless we are empowered, you cannot preach. You cannot even teach. You cannot do anything. That's where we are at. Huh? And it was quite technical at times. We discussed, I think we stopped at 22, according to me. Do you agree? Okay, before we start, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, we move on from 23. Buter Mahadbirya, Buter Mahadbiyema Pulovibu, Nirmaya Shete Yadamushu, Purushaha. Bunte Gunan Sodash, Shodashatmaka, so long Krishita Bhagwan Vachamshi me. Feel free if you want to decide the Sanskrit, it's fine with me, or directly the English, as you wish.
Yeah, so may the Supreme Personality of Godhead who enlivens the materially created bodies of the elements by lying down with the verse, and who in his Purusha incarnation causes the living being to be subjected to the 16 division of material modes, which are his generator, be pleased to decorate my statement. So that explains the mode and consciousness of Sukhdev Goswami.
Yeah.
How prayerful he is, and he's glorifying the Lord. And it's mentioned here how a devotee never takes credit of his activities. He always is very conscious that he's only an instrument with Krishna's hand. So even if sometimes someone glorifies his activities, the devotee offers that to his spiritual master, to Krishna, and fully convinced that it's only by the Lord's mercy that their activity was able to be executed. Like Prabhupada says in the purport, without the sanction of Krishna, even a blade of grass cannot move.
Yes.
So that also helps us understand in our life that whatever happens, it's been sanctioned by Krishna, and that Krishna is taking care of Krishna is taking care of us at every step, and also how Mr. Swami is explaining, it's only Krishna who inspired Brahma in his heart to learn about the Vedanta Sutra and ultimately do his activity. And Prabhupada is quite explicit about explaining the position of Krishna as the father of the supreme,
Yes.
supreme Lord, the father of the Vedanta philosophy. And also someone who is intelligent can understand how it's all Krishna's arrangement, it's all Krishna's will, even the material, if one get the material, the material creation, the material world has been created. And how the Lord is helping every living entity in every way, one by being present in their heart as Paramatma and guiding everyone according to their desire and consciousness.
Yes. Good. Did you guys receive my homework? I know I must have sent them perhaps 3 hours ago. It's late, but anyway, we can. I emphasize what I did is I extracted one sentence in the purport, which is quite peculiar, I would say. I want to echo this sentence with you. It's in the purport of 23.
Yeah.
The devotee always thinks of himself as instrumental for anything successfully carried out, and he declines to take credit for anything done by himself. So the second part, Alinishta just emphasized that's very clear. But the first part can be misconstrued. So do you have you want to shed some light on the first part? I don't know if you found it in the purport. The devotee always thinks of himself as instrumental for anything successfully carried out. Well, how do you understand that?
Well, what I understood is Krishna, the Jiva himself on his own, he doesn't have any ability to do that. To execute something successfully. If he has been able to do so, he understands that only with Krishna's mercy or Krishna has used him to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So at the same time, we are personalists, and of course, you may intervene if you want to add up to what I'm saying or even disagree. But we are personalists. I remember I had an authority way back when I was collecting to save Mayapur. Yogesh Chandra Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. He used to tell us, it is impersonal not to take the credit. You take the credit and you give it back to whoever you want, your guru, Srila Prabhupada, Krishna. So that struck me in those days, must have been 30 years ago. So yes, I'm trying my best. By Krishna's grace, I'm trying my best. I'm one of the instruments. I'm not the only one. There's 5 factors of action, remember, in the Gita. So I'm the karta. Karta means the doer. So let me try my best, but depending on Krishna. And then when, let's say you are successful, then you give the credit to others. But the point of that devotee, Yogesh Chandra Prabhu, if you don't take the credit, how can you give it to others? You follow? And I found that a very good point. We cannot say, well, Prabhu, I didn't do anything. No, I did something for Krishna. I was not absent. I'm part of the scheme. Otherwise, if you keep on declining your input, it sounds practically impersonal. You follow? So it's important to to try our level best, while doing so, depending on Krishna, at every minute. And if it is successful, then you have the right to give the credit to whoever you want. But to refuse to take the credit, it's somewhat impersonalistic. That was the point of the devotee. Do you have anything to say, Moshe Prabhu? So then there is, I asked a question in regard to the parampara, but it's quite, you guys are quite seasoned devotees, so you understand. It's mentioned, it's passed down in parampara. But now the 16 divisions, it's mentioned about Sudash. Sudash means 16. When did we come across that? Long, long back. I don't know if you remember. Because, see, the modes are made of, there's 3 modes, but they are based on the 16 division. We should never forget that. Sudash, 16. We came across a verse long, long back, I know, where that was brought about. Do you remember? In 131. Jagrihe Purusham Cheva, Jagrihe, sorry, Purusham Rupam, Bhagavan Mahadadidihi, Sombutam Shodash Kalam. Shodash means 16. Ado Lok Sishrik Shaya. So the 16 principles of material creation are the fundamentals of the creation. And that is Tishrik Shaya, for the sake of creating.
Yeah, which verse is that, Prabhu?
131. 131. Always try to cross-reference, that's what I've been doing for decades. I like to cross-reference, always. Oh yes, when I study, when I prepare my classes, always do that. Oh yes, we came across this in this section. Then I put a little note with a pencil, and there's a cross-reference. If you do that after years and years, you will see it's like your study becomes a network of cross-references. And you bounce off from in the Gita, in the CC, in the Bhagavatam, and after sometimes you can start to see the tattva, So I mean, personally, I love to do that. Buddhajan told us that long back. Now, the very last sentence of 23 is also quite interesting. Can you read out? Look at that.
Yeah, but I just need some time. What to read exactly?
The very, very last sentence of the purport.
Okay. The Lord helps.
I would say even after that, the very last sentence, Shukadev prays for the mercy.
Praise for the mercy of the Lord, not only for being helped personally in presenting the truth, but also for helping others to whom he would like to speak.
See, that very last sentence is very interesting. Do you understand? But also for helping others to whom he would like to speak. So what does it indicate?
So he had the desire to give all this knowledge to Parikshit Maharaj.
Yes, and not only, but also for helping others to whom. In other words, Krishna wants to give this message to all, but to whom he would like to speak. It seems to me that the Lord wants this knowledge to be precisely given to particular individuals. Like, for instance, this Bhagavatam was given to Uddhav, remember? And when Shukadev Goswami got the message from his father, then only would have left. You follow? In other words, the passation or the transmission was happening through Uddhav, because Uddhav got Chatur Shlok, he got Chatur Shloki, he got Uddhav Git in Prabhat Kshetra. And then Shukadev was not even there as yet. Then Uddhav was sent to Badarikashram to give the knowledge to Narayan Rishi. And Uddhav's job to stay on earth to preach this Srimad Bhagavatam message. When Shukadev came along, he got the message, and Uddhav could leave. In other words, once Uddhav has transmitted the knowledge everywhere, someone took over. Who was that? Shukadev. Then once Shukadev took over the transmission, then Uddhav left. So there's always a need to carry on the message. And the last person on earth who did that was Srila Prabhupada. And now it's our turn, your turn, my turn, his turn, to carry on giving the message. And one day some of your students will take the message and give it to others. Not all, not all. We shouldn't think, like, look at the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They took the message, but they didn't give it on a bigger scale like Srila Prabhupada. So it seems to me in 23, for helping others to whom he would like to speak, Krishna, he would like to speak to certain individuals. He wants to speak to everyone, but not everyone is going to take the message the same way. Anyway, that's enough for 23. Let's see if I have something from Vishwanath first. Yes, this is 23. Yeah, so Vishwanath here. Now, may my words created by him, by his presence in them, create beauty with literary ornaments and qualities, invoking Madhurya, Karuna, and other rases to bring joy to the listeners. See, Shukadev is pleading the Lord, may my words be elegant, be rasika. May the Lord ornament my words by being present in them, just as the Lord, after creating bodies for humans and others, personally resides in those bodies and makes them successful. Having created the bodies by Mahatattva and other elements, he dwells in those bodies as the Antaryami. So now my question was, of course, it's not easy to understand the answer because Vishwanath gives the answer. Why Krishna doesn't become contaminated when he creates those 16 elements? Because those 16 elements, what are those 16 elements, by the way? Let's break it down. 16. Can you see? Yeah, you can say Pancha Mahabhut. That's already 5. What else is there?
5 sense objects.
Sorry?
The 5 sense objects.
Okay, Purnachandra Mataji has come. Wow. I didn't know.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah, you're right. So, Pancha Mahabhut 5. Then we find the Gyanendriya, the knowledge acquiring senses, the Karmendriya, the organ, the actions of the organs, and the active organs, I would say the doing organs, like the hand, the leg, That's 15, and the mind. So visual,
Mind for ego.
yeah, actually there's 16. 16. That's the primary ones, basically. After it breaks down further, yeah, we know. There is, again, Panchamahabhut, the mind is, Krishna says in the Gita, amongst the senses and the mind. So we could say the mind is Antakaran, yes, it's an internal sense. Yes, you could say that. It's a sense, it's a sense. And then 5 kamendriya, working senses, working organs, and 5 gyanendriya, that's 16. But Vishwanath makes a beautiful point. He says, unless you may find out yourself the answer, why the Lord doesn't become contaminated? Because he doesn't, he enjoys those 16 elements just by his glances. He doesn't touch it. See, we touch the elements. We are engrossed in the elements. Our body is made of elements. But he doesn't touch. He just enjoys those 16 by his glances. He gives life to the 16 elements. Okay, I think we all said. Namastasme Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedase Papur Gyanam Ayam Somya Yan Mukam Guru Hasavam. This is 24.
Okay, I offer my respectful obeisances to Srila.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Vasudeva, who compiled the Vedic scriptures. The pure devotees drink of the nectar in transcendental knowledge, dropping from the lotus-like mouth of the Lord.
Yeah.
So here Srila Swami is pointing that before consulting the scriptures, we should offer respectful obeisances to Srila Vyasadeva.
Yes.
He's also mentioning that there's no different actually of the kissing of the Lord to his comforts and whatever we receive through the scriptures.
Yes.
Whatever Srila Vyasadeva has presented to us through the scriptures is the same, and there's no difference. That nectar.
Exactly. It's anyone else would like to shed some light, because it's quite poetic and amorous, coming from Vishwanath as usual. But before we get into that, at the bottom of 24, page 210 in my edition, the Lord is addressed in the very beginning as Para. Which verse is that? Remember, it's called Svarup Lakshan. We discussed way back. What is the first verse? Very beginning. What is the Svarup Lakshan of the Srimad Bhagavatam? As explained in 111. There's so many Tatashta Lakshan, secondary symptoms, I could say, but Svarup, what is the primary? Lakshan means symptom or characteristic in 111. How we saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yato Vayadi. So many, at least 11 are there, but these are Tatashta, remember, Lakshan, they are secondary characteristic. What is the primary in 111? The primary characteristic, which is the goal of this book, actually. You forgot
You mean the
111?
characteristic of the Lord?
It's mentioned here at the bottom of the page 210 in verse 24, because the Lord is addressed in the very beginning as Para, or transcendental. What is he referring to here, Srila Prabhupada? Which verse and where in the verse?
You said the verse 111, right?
Yes. So where is the Sarup Lakshan of this verse? The primary characteristic of this verse is where in the verse?
Uh,
That's
when it says iteratus,
well, these are secondary characteristics. Anyone can recollect in 111, what is the key sentence in 111? There's so many sentences. It's a very long verse, long-winded verse. But what is the key section of this verse? The Swarup Lakshan, the primary characteristic. How does it finish? The very end of the verse?
Satyam Param Dhimahi.
Wow.
That's the answer.
Excellent. Don't forget, this is the Vastu Nirdesh of the Bhagavatam. What are we studying? Dhimahi is plural form. Dhimahi. This is coming from Gayatri. So it's plural form. Vishwanath explained, Vyasadeva is taking all the jivas in the creation, not only the BV students. And he's telling them, sit on my lap. We're going to meditate on Satyam Param. Satyam Param means Krishna to Bhagavan Swayama. Not only the Vasudeva, this Satyam Param means the Krishna of Vrindavan and the original Swayam Bhagavan. So Vyasadeva is taking us on his lap, all the jivas of the creation. Dhimahi, let's meditate together. So Prabhupada is reminding us here in 24, this is the Krishna, Para. This is the Svarup Lakshana. All the other Lakshanas characteristic of 111 are secondary. Why? Why they're secondary? We say, Janma Dyasya Yato Dvayadish Itaratascha. There's so many, at least 10 or 11 are defined. Why are they secondary?
Because Krishna, it's his expansion that does all that.
Yeah, because, yes, Prabhu. Because it's so simple. Because they are dealing with the creation. And the creation is Vyakta, Avyakta, Vyakta, Avyakta, Vyakta, Avyakta, manifested, non-manifested. You follow? So when we say, let's say, Janma Dyasya Anvayat Itarata Shateshu Abhigya Swarat, yes, he maintains everything in the creation. Whatever is manifested comes from him. Okay, but that's pertaining to the when the manifestation is created. But these are secondary characteristics in the sense we know very well that the creation is not very often manifested. So it's only a secondary aspect of God. You follow? When we say Tejo Valvidam Yata Vinimayu Yatra Pisagum Risha, yes, whatever we see is transformation of the modes. Well, okay, but that's just pertaining to the creation. What when the creation is not manifested? Is Krishna still not God? He's always there, even way before the creation was manifested. So that is why the Acharyas mentioned the topmost characteristic of 111 and of the whole book actually is Satyam Param Dhimahi. Okay. And now to go back to this rasa dance and music, we can hear Vishwanath because it's quite beautiful and very amorous. Vishwanath is a Manjari, so he is speaking from a very high platform. What's the meaning of Vedase in 24? Vasudevaya Vedase. It's the name of Vedase. It's a beautiful name. It's a name for It's the name of Brahma. Brahma has many names. Vidhi, Swayambhu. He has unlimited names, Brahma. One is Vedasi. Okay, so now let's hear Vishwanath. Yes, Adinsha?
Vedasi, I'm trying know of the Vedas.
Yeah, so this is Brahma. Tene Brahma Rida Adikavi. Ye Adikavi. Remember in 111? Adikavi. Is the first, yes. Is the
First one in Lord Krishna imported the knowledge of the Vedas into the heart of Brahma.
exactly. So Vishwanath on 24, he offers respects. So who is he? Shukadev. Shukadev offers respects to his guru Vyasadeva, who is the avatar of Vasudeva. Vasudevaya. Remember, Vyasadeva in this age is not a Jeev, is a Vishnu Tattva. And Vedasi could apply to Brahma, it could apply also to Vyas, because he's the maker of the scriptures. And we drink the words of the lotus mouth of Vyas. Vasudeva can also mean Krishna. And when we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, here we mean Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna. Somya, you see Somya in 24? So now Vishwanath goes into a tangent in rasa dance. He's a very advanced devotee. He goes, Somya means the gopis of Krishna. Jnana means filled with knowledge. Just by drinking the nectar of his lotus mouth, filled with the most extraordinary knowledge, filled with ornaments, wrath, skill in dancing, singing, music, and art, which they knew nothing about. The gopis are simple cowherd girls from the villages, but because they were kissed by Krishna. Can you imagine this? Very intimate. They were kissed by Krishna. They acquired all the transcendental arts, singing, dancing, how to dress for Krishna, how to play music, how to cook. Because the kissing of Krishna is not different from Krishna Katha, from philosophy. And they attained full realization of it. So Shukadev is also very close to Krishna. He's saying, please, let me attain that knowledge. This is very confidential, 24. There's no difference when Krishna kisses you or Krishna speaks to you, you will see in further cantos, sometimes Krishna will kiss the gopis, and by kissing them, they will be endowed with all the qualities. All the arts will be totally endowed within the gopis. Okay, so let's move on. 25. This is the last verse, basically. Etan evatma burajan naradaya viprichate vedagarbo bhyadat sakshat yadaha arirat manaha.
Okay. My dear King Brahma, the first book on being questioned by Narada exactly appraised him on his subject as it had been directly spoken by the Lord to his own son, who was impregnated with Vedic knowledge from his very birth. So here we get to know that the text how Brahma was impregnated by the Vedic knowledge as soon as he was born. So he's infallible and he he's like he knew everything from the beginning, right? And the text provided speaks about the importance of the Vedic knowledge in creation and the need for factual knowledge. The language of the Veda can only be revealed through a display succession and not otherwise. It is difficult to understand and must be learned through the mentioned system. The statement of the creation is explained by Sutta Goswami, are not periodically but perfectly correct, and one who hears and assimilates them can obtain perfect information about the material creation.
Yeah, very good.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So in 25, we do come across two names of Brahma. See, what are those two names?
Wow.
There's two names. Brahma has unlimited names, just like Krishna. You should write them down. Personally, I like to keep track of names of Arjun, names of Krishna, names of Brahma. It's a nice exercise. What are the two names of Brahma in 25? Yeah, Veda Garbha, number one.
Yeah.
And then number two.
Prabhu.
Very good. Excellent.
Actually, there's a lot of names for Brahma, but in the text, right?
In 25,
Hiranyagarbha.
yeah, sometimes very good. Hiranyagarbha means also Brahma, not only Brahma, but
Yeah.
Atmaja, Swayambhu. Yeah, Brahma is Vidhi, as I said. So, yeah, it's
Chaturbhuda. He has got 4 arms, right?
Chaturmukh, Chaturmukh, it's the name of Brahma also.
And Kanja born in water.
Yeah. I can see you are very conversant. Very good. Chaturvedi means one who knows the four Vedas. Trivedi means one who knows the three Vedas. See, poetry touches the heart much more than philosophy. Poetry is the vehicle to touch the heart. Music, even Prabhupada used to say that, Indra Maharaj also, we are masquerading this movement with philosophy, but actually deep inside, deep beneath, it's music and poetry. You can see all these great souls, Narottam, Bhaktivinoda, Vishwanath. They are poets. They are philosophers, yes, but number one, they are poets and musicians. It's masqueraded into philosophy, but actually it's poetry. And you can see transcendental knowledge was expanded by the Goswamis. Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Bhagavat Marichimala. It's called Upavyakyas. The Goswamis literature is called Upavyakyas. It's not different. When we say in the morning the 11 offenses against the holy name, we say don't criticize the Vedas and any literature in pursuance of the Vedic version, remember? It means Upavyakyas, whatever the Goswamis have written about the Vedas. Let's say Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Upadeshamrit. That's also not different from the Vedas. So that is why we have to keep things to the essence in Kali Yuga. We don't have time to be splayed out our energy. Okay, so we're finished with chapter 4. Do you have any questions? So now, what's going to happen? Any clue? What is the connection between chapter 4 and 5?
We'll enter another section as such.
No, it's a cosmic manifestation.
Yeah, the connection is quite evident. What's the connection before we start? I mean, it's quite obvious, you know, even 25 reveals the answer. What are we going to hear about?
We are going to be hearing about the parampara system and the display succession.
Yeah, remember, so, like sometimes someone asks you a question, what do you do to establish your answer? You're going to quote a story. You follow? That's why the acharyas always do. Look at Sutta Goswami. He's being asked by the sages of Nimisharanya. What is he doing? Instead of answering very dryly with dry philosophy, no. He's telling the story of his guru, how he got the knowledge himself, and he's telling the story of the Bhagavatam as he heard it from his guru, Sukadev. So here, in order to answer the questions of Parikshit that we heard in the beginning of the 4th chapter, what's Shukadev's going to do? He has prayed profusely to Vasudev to be empowered, and he's going to tell about Brahma-Narada Samvada. This is Brahma-Narada Samvada. And that's going to last for quite a few chapters. Chapter 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Just like Narad, remember, in the 1st canto, when his guru asked him, oh, my dear guru, sorry, when his disciple asked him yesterday, my dear guru, please tell me what happened to you. How come how did you get this knowledge in the first place? And Narad is going to tell the story of Dasiputra, remember? Chapter 5, 6 of the 1st canto. So here, the same pattern. Shukdev is going to answer Parikshit by quoting the Brahma-Narada Samvada. So this is what it is. We're going to discuss about Sarga. Chapter 5 is Sarga. Naradovach Dev Namaste Stu Bhut Bhavan Puvaja Tad Dijanihi Yash Gyanamatma Tatwa Nidarshanam.
Sri Narad asked Brahmaji, O chief amongst the demigods, O firstborn living entity, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Please tell me that transcendental knowledge which specifically directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the super soul. So here Narad Muni is asking a question to Brahmaji about, as you mentioned, Brahmaji is also known as the firstborn living entity.
Yes.
And here Prabhupada is explaining about, you see, the nature of the transcendental knowledge as mentioned in the text. So the nature of transcendental knowledge, the way it should be submitted is through parampara system, which we call it succession. And knowing that Brahmaji was the first one to receive the knowledge directly from Krishna, and then Brahmaji imparted the knowledge to Narada, and like that, then the disciplic succession was carried on. And then Prabhupada also emphasizes, yes, disciplic succession, the transmission through disciplic succession should be done, but what should be the consciousness and the mood of the receiver? So practically, we know the verse that Vidi Pranipatena.
Yes.
So the mood, the consciousness of the student should be very submissive, and should approach the spiritual master through the mood of submissiveness, surrender, and ready to serve, service mode. And that is the secret to receive transcendental knowledge.
Yes.
Transcendental knowledge is not something you can achieve, but you can receive. And that can only be received through the mercy of the Guru once the Guru is pleased.
Yes, excellent. Very, very good. So again and again, did you notice we are only in the second canto? Why so many times the topic of creation is being, please unmute yourself, huh? If you don't speak, it's quite annoying. When you speak, you unmute, and when you don't speak, you mute yourself. So we could ask ourselves why so many times the topics of creation are being brought about. Why? And where did we meet briefly? I know we discussed already about creation. Where? We could wonder what's the use of talking about creation? Yes, very good. Yes, we are dealing with its energies, remember? Parasya Shakti Vivideva Shuyate Svabhaviki Gyanabala Kriyacha. Parasya Shakti, Krishna has unlimited energy. So how do you want to know God if you don't know his energies? So you have to be impressed by his energies. Shakti, Shakti Matayo Abedha is non different from his energies, okay? But to access his energies, to access him, sorry, we go through his energies. We don't say Krishna, we say Hare. Krishna is, sorry, Hare is, what? Yeah, so exactly. So see, Mula Prakriti energy. She's Mula, she's the root energy. She's Swarupini, she's Mahabhav Swarupini. She's so with this is again and again we are being told if you want to access Krishna with Ashraya Tattva, we will discuss in the 10th canto, we have to go through the first 9 cantos because they deal with the energies. And one of the energy is Shrishti Stiti Pralaya. Remember? Shrishti Tattva, creation. So it's very important to always go through step by step. It's not a fault. And we have discussed already about creation. Remember, when did we discuss? Let's see if you have good memory. Where did we discuss about creation in the first canto? Remember? Or is it too vague? The end of the second chapter, beginning of the third chapter. You will see in the third canto, 2 times creation is going to be discussed, 2 times. So it's coming again and again and again and again, because we need to be told again and again and again. We have to repeat ourselves. So why Krishna is doing that, Shukadev is doing that? Because he wants to hammer the point home that Krishna's leelas resemble the leelas of young boys and girls in this world. So in order to fully understand, differentiate that Krishna is God, Shukadev, Vyasadeva, they have delineated 9 cantos in total to definitely explain in details the display of his energies. Otherwise, then at the end of the day, Hindus do that a lot. Oh, it's just another enjoyer. Atmavan Manyate Jagat, and they tend to superimpose their consciousness upon Krishna. Anyway, just a reminder. So, and also another point I could say, the ground has to be watered. If you want to plant a seed, it's okay, but first you have to water the ground. Then you plant. And then you plow the land. You follow? So then it's going to grow. Harvest will come. So now what we're doing, we are watering the ground with the 9 candles, watering the ground. And as we water the ground, initiation has come already for us. It has been planted, and Shravanadi Jal, and you read Bhagavatam Gita, and it's watering the seed being planted at the time of initiation. And then the land is being plowed. And then the fruits only will come. And then the flowers, then the fruits, etc. So this is the process. Stop me if you have any questions. So now, Vishwanath, on this first verse, says that we're going to start Brahma-Narada, Narad-Brahma Samvad. And also, again, we're going to discuss about the Virat. So many times the Virat comes in this book. The Virat is the display of the limbs, just like we have limbs. The limbs of the Lord are made of different lokas, planets. So what do we hear in one? Bhuta Bhavan, he creates the bodies. Purvaja. Purvaja means, that's another name of Krishna, of Brahma, sorry. Purvaja is born before Marichi. See, Brahma has so many Manasiputra, is called Manasiputra, sons coming from the mind of Brahma, like Marichi. And Marichi also has the power to create others from his mind. Like Narad is a brother of Marichi, but Narad is the smallest brother. Is the last son of Brahma. So here we're going to discuss about Atma Gyan, just like we discussed in the Gita, in the second chapter. Yad Rupam, Yadishtanam, Yata Shrishtam Midam Prabhu, Yat Samstam, Yat Param, Yascha Tadvam Bad Tadvataha.
Actually, this in terms of this manifest world, what is its background, how is it created, how is it conserved, and under whose control is all this being done. So again, you just explained all these things for the importance of discussing.
See the loftiness of the questions. Just imagine someone asked you in the class those questions in two. Can you imagine? See, we get questions in the class, okay? Sometimes it's tough, but nowhere near. Remember the questions of Maharaj Parikshit in the 4th chapter? Listen to the questions of Narad now, to the study. How much you have to be steeped in knowledge to answer. Don't make a fool of yourself. Brahma is not going to make a fool of himself. He's the engineer of the universe. So, in other words, in two, Idam means this universe. Rupam tells us about the characteristics of the universe. Adishtanam means the shelter. What is the shelter of the universe? Ingredients, how the universe is made up, constituted. What happened at the time of destruction? Yet some does it merge somewhere? Remember? Parikshit had asked the same question. I don't know if you remember. Way back in the 4th chapter, let me find it for you. 249. This is Parikshit asking, please, my dear Guru, did Krishna alone act with the modes? Number one. Did he expand simultaneously in many forms? Number two. Or did he expand consecutively? Number three. So very lofty. And Narada is putting the same type of questions to his father. What happened to the universe at the time of destruction? On what, Yat Param, on what the universe depends on? What is it made of? These are lofty, lofty stuff. Feel free to interrupt me if you have anything. And of course, in number two, did you notice the Sanskrit? It says, is it two or three? Yeah, I think it's two. No, sorry, it's three. Kara, let's read three. It's very interesting. Sarvam yetad bhavan ved, bhuta bhavya bhavat prabhu, karat malak vad, karat malak vad, vishvam vigyana vasitam kava. Go ahead. This is, you can read out three. You okay, everyone? It looks like everyone fell asleep or something. You must be late for perhaps in Vancouver.
Saturday, no?
Sorry?
Oh, okay, okay, I read it, but I didn't put my mic up, okay? Just 1 second. My dear father, all this is known to you scientifically because whatever was created in the past, whatever will be created in the future, or whatever is being created at present, as well as everything within the universe is within your grip, just like a walnut. So here Prabhupada is telling us about Brahma here. It is fascinating to learn that Brahma is the direct creator of the universe. He possesses extensive knowledge of the past, present, and future. He is aware of the continuous action of living beings, the phenomenal world, and the controller. He's being a direct creator, of the universe. He knows everything about the art of manufacturing, um, and uh, and uh, and like he knows everything, right? Yeah. It is the short for Brahma as the firstborn living being to have completed knowledge of the creative functions. His ability to manage and oversee the universe is truly remarkable. So we are everything here is about Brahma, like the firstborn and the creator, and like just like the walnut, right? Everything is inside the walnut. That's how he is. Like he's that powerful.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So Brahma, just like you have a big house, some of you may have a big house. You know every nook and corners of your house. It's your house. You had it built, you are very much concerned by the interior design, and you wanted to have this particular go down on the left, and the kitchen should be there, and you designed it, you had it made by someone competent. In the same way, Brahma has built this universe. So he knows all the nooks and corners. And you have seen the amalaki, amalaka fruit. It's tasty, and it's the most potent fruit in vitamin C. It says here, amalaka, kara amalak. So just like Krishna, at least here, Narada is still thinking that Brahma is God. You will see. He has this doubt. He considers his father like God. He's thinking like that. And why? Because it's such a display of tremendous display of power. Can you imagine it? He's the creator of the universe. Anyone would fall into the same trap. He must be God. He has the whole thing under his thumb, under his grip. You know, extremely powerful living entity. Yat Vigyano Yadadaro Yat Parastwam Yadatmakaha Eka Srijasi Bhutani Bhute Evatma Mayaya. This is 4.
Who wants to read that?
Nishtai, perhaps she disappeared.
Oh, it's morning there, huh? It's morning there. She can't speak.
It's here. It's 8:35 morning. Yeah?
Yeah, so
My
she's
dear
so
father,
sleepy time, right?
yeah.
Not
My dear Father, what is the source of your knowledge? Under whose protection are you standing? And under whom are you working? What is your real position? Do you alone create all entities or your material elements by your personal energy?
Yeah. Go ahead, Prabhu, if you want to shed some light.
Krishna is asking all these questions just to show that there is someone above Brahma.
Yeah. Exactly. So you have seen his doubt didn't linger too long. Eka, it says in 4. Eka, are you alone? You appear to have many forms. Are you alone? So he starts to ponder, which is a extremely good inquiry. So please note all these questions of 2 and 4, because the answers to those 2 questions are going to be unfolded for chapter 5, 6, 7. So we better know. If you want to appreciate the answers, always refer yourself to the questions. Otherwise, you lose track. What are we talking about here? No. So now, 5 is quite explicit. This is, I mean, it unfolds gradually. Atman bhavayase tani na para bhavayam swayam atma shaktim avashtavya unanabir ivaklamaha. Yeah.
okay. As a spider very easily creates the network of its cobweb and manifests its power of creation without being defeated by others, so also you yourself, by employment of your self-sufficient energy, create without any other help. Wow. Um, um, they are comparing the self-sufficiency to the sun, to that of the spider, who creates his own field of activity. So the spider, they always create their own field of activities without any external help. So they are just doing a comparison here. It is remarkable how this natural phenomena can be served as an example of self-reliance and independence. Wow. So it's like he does everything by himself, like just as a spider does. Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So this is a very pertinent analogy, yeah? Because you have seen the spider at work. Have you seen yourself? She's going to weave a web. I've seen in my garden, I have to always remove those webs here and there in the corner of the garden. I've got a little shack in the garden, and she's going to weave web between the trees and the shack, because she wants to catch insects and stuff within the web. So anyway, it seems at first sight that the spider is alone, is independent. But we have to remember, if we say dependent, independent means the dependent depends on the independent. You follow? And we discussed way back again 111. Anvayat itarata satesha bigyu Swarat is independent, is directly, indirectly conscious of everything. So at first sight, yes, and even Narad got befooled. He thought that Brahma is so powerful that at first sight he may have thought, yes, he's God. So, but we know better, and Bhagavatam goes further, and Brahma himself is a devotee. Is going to very meekly and humbly admit very soon, you will see, no, my dear son, I'm just subservient to Vasudeva, to Vishnu. We discuss with, let's say, remember 174, Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranite Male Apashat Purusham Purnam Mayam Shadada Pashrayam. This is not, this is, yes, this is Sutta Goswami. And as soon as Narad left the scene, Vyasadeva entered meditation. Bhakti Yogena Manasi, the mind. Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranite Male. And with no tinge of materialisms. Whom did he see? Krishna. Apashat Purusham, Purnam means Krishna. And he saw Maya also. And he saw also the predicament of the Jeev. Now we have the workers. So it's going to be.
Noise, there, a lot of noise.
Yeah, I know this guy upstairs is work. So we're going to have to stop. It's too noisy now. It's early, but they're already at work upstairs. So what I can do next time is teach earlier if you want.
Yes.
Because I can see it's 20 to 9 here a.m. and already they are at work. They are very noisy. So what I can do next time, I will start at 6:30 my time. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's so it's gonna be 8 p.m. our time.
I have no clue.
Maybe I will be on our schedule.
Yeah, because I can see this is the first time I'm doing it at this time of the day, and it's not bearable. The guy is knocking in the thing. So I'll do it at 6:30. Today is what, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll do it at 6:30 on Monday. Is that okay with everyone? Moshe Kapabu?
The house will be Sunday, right?
Sundays.
Sunday, 8 p.m. But you know what? Sunday 8 p.m. will be busy. It's a Shivratri. No, it's Sunday, right? It's Shivratri.
I have no clue. Tell me, otherwise we're gonna change again. Tell me, does it suit you? 6:30 a.m. my time, which will be 8 p.m. you said in Vancouver?
Yeah, it's gonna be Sunday, right? Sunday is our it's a temple, like it's a